So it seems lately I'd be in the minority for saying this, but I am very much a fan of in-ring wrestling. I don't know where all these theater kids came from, but they're multiplying. Somebody help me. We're in the climate where you can just go on social media and come to find somebody's posted a video of a wrestler botching during their match, and then the comments below it is like, he needs to go back to the performance center and learn how to work the knee and play to the hard cam. Storytelling. And I guess it doesn't help that a lot of the veterans in the sport have this mentality too, where you should basically keep it very minimal in the ring. Like I remember seeing a clip, I think it was The Undertaker on like Logan Paul's podcast, and he was basically begging Logan to not be so crazy in the ring with some of the stunts that he was pulling. And I've heard a lot of the old school wrestlers kind of echo this sentiment. You know, the example they always use is like, hey, you know, if you do a moonsault this time, then next time you're gonna have to top yourself because the fans are gonna be numb to it. You know, fucking. So this time you jump off a ladder, next time you're gonna have to jump off the Empire State Building. It's fucking shit like that. Undertaker sounds exactly like that. But anyway, that kind of inspired this video's topic. In a moment, I'm going to start naming off wrestlers, not sports entertainers. I'm going to start naming off wrestlers that historically have been my favorite at some point or whatever, or just one of the very exciting people to watch in the ring for me. Because I noticed I very much have a type in ring. So I'm going to start with the men. Hey,
That's so gay.
All right, so I'm going to name my types no homo. This isn't exclusive to WWE, so you'll get an idea of the kind of wrestling I like. So in no particular order, I will start off pretty big though, of like one of my all-time favorites in ring. TNA J Styles. Let me tell you something. Yo, in ring, spectacular. Because even back then, like when it comes to high flyers and shit like that, people use the term spot monkey and shit like this, which just basically means you just do all the flips and high fly. Because nowadays you'll see people like, oh, flippy dippy, blah, blah, blah. No. AJ Styles in this example, he was very balanced. He had the power moves that were crazy. He had the good in-ring wrestling. He had the aerial stuff too. He was good all around. TNA, like altogether, was known for the higher end, well, it says total nonstop action. I guess it's in their freaking tagline abbreviation. But a quick point I want to bring up is WWE fans that have not watched anything else, like it kind of shows because they prefer the WWE style, which is fine, but they criticize like AEW, for example, not realizing, I guess, that literally everywhere else, like indies and like all the other promotions that you can think of, they all basically wrestle the higher action style anyway. It's only kind of WWE that's like the very slow, dramatic fucking Shakespeare shit or whatever you're gonna call it. But anyways, so my first pick in no particular order, prime AJ Styles. My second pick, I'm gonna have to go with TNA Ron Killings. Now, if you're a fan of current day R-Truth, it's probably because he's funny and not anything he's done in the ring. At this point, some people might not even know that R-Truth is good in the ring the way that they have him out there. Prime Ron Killings was so flashy with it. Best scissor kick, the axe kick, put some spin on it. Sheesh. And not to be the dead horse, but you can have a good in-ring game and have great character work at the same time. And I think the perfect example for this, for me, was the Antichrist Jeff Hardy in TNA. Oh my God, I wish that lasted longer. That is my favorite form of Jeff Hardy by far. I'd always enjoyed Jeff Hardy in the ring, whether it was WWE or TNA. But when he went to TNA and then he took upon that character, because that was basically kind of like all he was missing for the most part. Interesting character. He was still fun as hell to watch, but his character was kind of just like, for the most part, normal. But that Antichrist work and the look, one of the best balances right there. All right, who's my next pick? Kurt Angle, WWE or TNA. He was spectacular in both. He very much existed in WWE and was wrestling his ass off. So I got no complaints there. And in TNA, he did go kind of crazier with the stunts, but oh my God, some of the matches with him and my next pick, which would be TNA Samoa Joe, them guys were going at it. Kurt Angle, Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, AJ Styles, like I said earlier. The matches that those guys had in there, that's wrestling. That's my type of shit. That shit was fun as hell. My next pick, so there's probably a lot more people. I'll just go with a few more here. So my next pick, I'll pick Ilya Dragunov. He's one of the new up-and-comers that I'm liking on the WWE side. His whole style, and obviously I've seen the match with him and Gunther, the match with Ilya and Ricochet. Him and Gunther was in NXT. People wanted to see it on the main roster, and they teased it in that tournament that they had a while back. They didn't give it to us. Not sure why. But then coming to find out later, they fucking, for those who don't know where Ilya's been, they decided to do Ilya versus Gunther on some random house show and now he's injured. That shit made me so mad when I found out. Dude, at this point, I don't even know, it's probably gonna be forever till we see this now. Feels like they're trying to like save everything for some kind of blue moon type shit. Anyways, so Ilya, Gunther, sure. Yeah, let me talk about Gunther for a second. With Gunther, it seems like he's pretty hit or miss for a lot of people. What I liked about Gunther's style is the fact that he can just pull a finisher out of nowhere. You don't know if he's gonna end it with a rear naked choke, with the power bomb. I guess I gotta include that top rope splash. That shit look ugly as hell, but the reason why I like Gunther is because he comes off like an old school wrestler to me, where he just hits you hard, does the wrestling moves. Nothing too fancy, but it works and it's effective. And again, I like that his finisher could be anything on any given day because it brings that realism that I was talking about a little bit in my other video. Who else do I like? Braun Breaker's exciting. He's another up-and-comer that I'm liking. For my next picks, obviously I gotta say Will Ospreay and of course Bryan Danielson. Will Ospreay to me is just like a current day, new generation AJ Styles in his own way. And Bryan Danielson, I've been peeping his game since early Ring of Honor. Like this guy, American Dragon. I have another video topic that I'm going to save for another video. I don't want to spoil anything, but I got something on him later. Let me pick one more for the men. Shelton Benjamin's another good example of like an all-around athlete that can just basically do everything. The power moves, the high flying. But yeah, let me name some women. This is going to be a little bit more difficult because of the way how American women's wrestling has been in the West. I don't want to name too many jet. I can like easily say Asuka, Io. Those are easy picks. Those are my first two easy picks. Asuka and Io. But I don't want to just name all the Japanese women because Japanese wrestling been going hard. It's only been women's wrestling in the West that's been recently growing and upgrading, which is good to see. So I'll say like Asuka, Io, Bianca Belair. There's some women down in NXT going pretty hard right now. I've been catching wind of them through clips, but I don't really watch NXT. But dude, this next one's gonna surprise you. I had to write this shit down because it goes towards something I was saying in another video. Where the fuck is this? Okay, peep this shit. Caden Carter. Yes, Caden Carter. You know Caden and Katana? Okay, the reason why I wrote this... Okay, so check this out. First of all, exciting tag team, yes. But I gotta give Caden her flowers because I noticed everybody always talking about Katana. Because generally speaking, in their tag team dynamic, Katana is usually on the more flashy side of their tag team moves. So people kind of just been looking at her more. But Caden just had a match recently. I think it was, I can't remember what it was, but I literally wrote down the date. Whatever match she had on December 16th. Oh yeah, I remember now. It was in a tournament it was her, Raquel, and Zoe Stark. They had a triple threat match for the tournament for the new championship. Caden was going off. She's got some exciting moves. She can do it. She's probably one of the more low-key people that could actually end up going on to hold this championship if they wanted to, you know, put it on somebody new. So I just want to shout her out. I like her. I think she has a cool aesthetic. And from what I've seen, especially just from that match, she's pretty good in the ring. It can only get better from there. Who else is there? I don't want to just name forever, but everybody knows I'm waiting for Julia because I knew about her before she came in. But yeah, not to make this video too long, I just wanted to put some names out there so people could see where I'm at with this kind of thing. And not to say that other people can't like other styles, but for the other day, for example, I saw a tweet. Granted, other people called this person out for this, but this person's tweet was literally, it said, "Why do people care so much about what happens in ring?" I was like, what the fuck did I just read? Are you serious? Thankfully, I didn't have to go to war in the comments because people already called them out. Like, the second W kind of stands for wrestling. But yeah, this is where we're at. Like, I swear to God, we're like 5 years removed from the main event of WrestleMania being two guys in the middle of the ring going at it. Then like mid-match, they just stop and one of them pulls out a fucking Dr. Seuss book talking about green eggs and ham or some shit. This is where we're at. Storytelling. Like, it's getting ridiculous. I don't know where this came from. This was not a thing in my early fanhood of wrestling. This shit feels new. Every now and then I come on here and it sounds like I'm talking shit because I have to be the counterbalance to some craziness that I've been seeing echoed a little too many times on the other side. For example, when I think I've said this before, but when people try to claim that horsewomen is the bar of in-ring skill, even to this day, 2024, dog, horsewomen level has been passed. And we should be happy about that. It shouldn't be like something you're trying to stay at. But again, everybody should support their favorites, but it's just when people try and be objective. Because there's opinion, obviously, and then there's like just, you're wrong. You can be pretty good objective within a certain range, but then when you're saying something that off, then it's like, okay, now you're just... Anyways, storytelling. Tell me a story in the ring. I just remembered one more thing I got to point out. This is going to sound like hating again, but... So, this was back before Tiffany Stratton was on the main roster, I believe. She was still down in NXT, about to be called up, like, not long afterwards. But it was when Becky Lynch went down there, and she had a quick feud with Tiffany. During one of the matches that they had, did they have two? I can't remember. But during the match that I'm thinking of that they had, I remember they were both laying on the ground, right? I forget what move happened, but, you know, in typical WWE fashion, motherfuckers were laid out on the ground. And I guess Tiffany started getting up faster than Becky Lynch wanted. So Becky literally told her to go lay back down. Because this is the dramatic in-ring storytelling that we're talking about here. So to me, I thought that made Tiffany look stupid, that she literally had to just go back to her position. But then you go on Twitter, I guess all the theater kids came out and talked about, oh, look at this beautiful moment where Tiffany is being coached by Mother Becky in the middle. I was like, ugh! I wanted to vomit so bad. Oh my God. Jesus Christ, find another way to tell her that or something. I don't know, get her a side headlock later and then talk shit in her ear or something. That looks so awkward. But anyways, NXT is developmental, blah, blah, blah. So I guess it's not that much of a big deal. But I just remember that moment. Dude. Oh my God, these kids. Becky Lynch's mother. Mother 8. Mother. Yo, anytime I see a Twitter poster and their name's written in freaking cursive writing somehow, that's how I imagine they sound. It's like, dude, why are you talking like that? Steven. Shit. Anyway, that's all I got. I'm about to drop off. All I got to say is this. Keep in-ring work alive.
Ooh, this just got interesting. Not wasting any time entering the gauntlet. Oh, man. personal and play